Ready for the seats? I want 48 rows. Here they are, our low-cost airline coming up. There you go. So that's what it's about. It's all about the profits. Who is your customer? How many rows of seats they want? And just make it. It's all it is. There's no standard Boeing aircraft. They are made to order. Boeing doesn't just say, well, it costs us this much to make an aircraft, a standard. We add on 5% and we try and sell it. No, it goes back the other way. Okay? So the big theme of today is to understand cost control, you must start with the market position of your product and work backwards from that. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's the market position. It's the market position of your product that dictates the design, it dictates the function, it dictates what you need to do to sell it. It's no good making something that, oh, the activity-based cost of this product is cheaper, oh, let's make more of that. No good making more of something if you cannot sell it. So the big takeaway today, start with the market position, work backwards. In the first half, what did we talk about? I introduced the notion of target costing. That is, you start with a target and work backwards. I introduced the idea of the information you need to go to management with is, if you want to make a proposal to supply a certain component, you go to them and say, look, you need to bid at this minimum level and higher. You cannot bid below that because it eats into our relevant costs. You see? That's different from going to management and say, well, it costs us $60 and 10% cost up, you better sell it for $70. Okay? That's the old traditional large volume approach to manufacture and selling. Okay? The real world today is backward. It's the other way, right? So the theme of today's lecture is to just get you thinking from marketing first. Okay? Functional analysis or design analysis? Which is first? Function. And then design. And then process, which is what I'm going to talk about now. Okay? Process value analysis. And I'll give you a real live example of a process value analysis. Let me just close that and let me go to slide 122. Oh, just give me all slides. I don't know. Just a minute. And show 122. We've just got 250 slides to do in today's lecture. No, we don't. We want to go reasonably fast. And here is our slide, and we're talking about process value in analysis. Okay, so the first thing in process value analysis, do you all have the slides in front of you, process value analysis? Yeah. Okay, great. Remember, it's not about MA2. This is not about the exam. This is not about you becoming an accountant. It's not about you making big money, okay? This is about you having some serious medicine that can be used to help real people. real people sustain their value in selling to the market. Oh, Lady Gaga's just popped up. Unbelievable. That's my iPhone. I was just getting ready that's for next week. So just 1 week at a time. I'm always 2 weeks ahead of you. So the process value analysis, activity analysis, driver analysis, and established performance measures. So there's 3 things. What I want to do is give you an example of each of those 3 things. First of all, activity analysis. So when you go into this company that's saying, cost control, I'm under pressure, what do I do? Okay? So you say, okay, let's have a look at your activities. You've already done the functional analysis, you know what they're trying to make and sell. And then you look at design. Look, can we change the design? Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Okay, that's all right. We've got another option here. There's process. Let's have a look at your processes. Is there some way that we can improve your processes and then deliver that medicine? Okay? So activity analysis is the process of identifying, describing and evaluating activities an organisation performs. And it should have 4 outcomes. What activities were performed? How many were performing those activities? How many people? The time and resources required to perform the activities, and assessment of value of the activities to the organisation. So let's just simplify it for a moment, because you start to give that list down to a client, they're going to say, what, is this more gibberish? Is this more theory? O'Connor teach you in MA2? No. Look, how about we simplify it? Tell us about your value-added costs and your non-value-added costs. You say, oh, okay. Well, what do you mean by value-added costs? Well, a value-added cost is a cost associated with an activity that if you eliminate it, it will not change the functionality of your product. You see? See, in the end, you want to reduce costs and keep the same positioning and functionality, right? Unless you want to change the function grouping, okay? So the Kindle doesn't want to move into the iPad functionality. It's down there, okay? So assuming you're not changing functionality, assuming you've got constraints on design, the next step is to, well, do you have any costs that we can eliminate that will reduce the actual perceived value of the utility? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. What about non-value added costs? That's a cost, if eliminated, would not change. It will not change the functionality of the product. It will not reduce the actual perceived value. Okay? So you don't want to alter the value-added costs. You want to cut out the non-value-added costs. All right, so let me give you a little quiz, shall we? Are you ready for a quiz? All right, here's a real problem. The company employs inspectors to check on the quality of goods received, the quality of goods purchased. Should we, A, train the inspectors, B, ensure that suppliers deliver better quality, C, improve the process that is producing faulty goods? Hands up for A. We've got inspectors, so we better train them, A. B, ensure suppliers deliver better quality. Hands up for that approach. Or, okay, we've got 1, 2. Anyone else? C, improve the process that is producing the faulty goods. Okay, that too. You see, here's the tricky part. When you're working with a supply chain, so for example, remember our friend that I interviewed in Passage Maker? They're working with hundreds and hundreds of suppliers, okay? So supplier delivers faulty goods. That happens, okay? Exactly this one here. And you cannot do that. You cannot deliver faulty goods. Send them back, do it again. Okay, then a month later, deliver faulty goods. You cannot do that. Send them back and do it again. A month later, they deliver it again. You cannot do that. Send it back and do it again. Well, so what's the problem with that approach? What's the problem with ensuring suppliers deliver better quality? What's the problem? It may take you 6 months or a year to get what you want. Okay, you stamp your foot and you keep on rejecting deliveries, assuming you're not making it, right? That's the reality in China. Okay, that's the reality. I'm not saying that suppliers are bad. I just want to make you aware of the reality. So what is another solution? What do you do if you've got that? This is likely to happen. You can't just say, oh, you've got to deliver better quality. Do it again. Well, okay, they'll end up doing it again, but it's 6 months later and then it's too late because your product is behind. So you lose. You with me? Oh no, I won because I got better quality. No, you lost because you failed to sell your product in the market. You understand? Any idea, I teach you in management accounting too, it must stand the test of being saleable in the market. You can't just say, oh, just ensure suppliers deliver better quality. That's my consulting fee. All right, that doesn't solve the problem. What do you think the company should do in that case? Real situation, what should they do?
Seek for some other suppliers.
Okay, seek some other suppliers, that's a good idea. All right, so have alternative suppliers.
Negotiate price. You can see the supplier last time you didn't do a very good job, so you need to make it cheaper this time.
Okay, you didn't do a good job, so you made it cheaper, but then you still don't get your quality.
So, like, if you're negotiating with the same supplier for a different product.
Yes.
So if you have many different things being supplied by
Yes.
the same supplier.
So that's a contractual approach. That's like an incentive approach. Okay, that is, you will get rewarded when you do it properly. But that doesn't guarantee that they'll do it properly on time. What does the market care about? On time. You understand? You with me? It's no good delivering a new phone that's 3 months late. Yes? It's out of date. The competitors have released theirs and you've lost the market. Okay? It's quality. I got the quality. Okay? My incentives worked. The suppliers finally delivered what I wanted. Okay? So you're right. Incentives can work, but they don't always make up for time lost. Okay? So how can you work against that risk of time lost? Any other solution? Come on, these are real solutions to real problems you need to think about. Yes?
You mentioned before that Apple owns equipment that the manufacturers use to produce their things, to use their PCBs. So maybe you can actually go inside the factory and give them the equipment that. So use our equipment to produce this.
Okay, that's one way, okay? Which is like improving the process as producing the faulty goods. So you work more closely with the supplier. You get to the heart of where's their quality problem. Look, we work with you to improve your quality. Okay, that costs more, but you're going to get something delivered on time. And why does that matter? What? Because your product to market needs to be on time. Right? Hey, didn't I tell you last week, Nokia took 15, 16 months for product development cycle time? HTC takes how long? 7 months. 7 months. It's just like a new baby every 7 months. Okay, seriously. Right? Absolutely amazing. Okay? And that's why Qualcomm comes to HTC first and say, look, can you commercialize our new Snapdragon chip? I told you that, right? Did I tell you that? Hello? I repeat myself a lot, so you've got to tell me when I tell you the stories. All right? And then Google come to them too, okay, and said, we want Android. Why? Because they know it's going to be 7 months later and it's going to be commercialized. All right? So time is very critical in a number of industries, especially consumer electronics. So maybe the correct answer is C. You see? B is correct, but it may not always work. C may be more expensive, but maybe you can guarantee time to market. You see? So you need to think out of the box. You need to think outside of the box. There's never one correct answer. All right, let's have a look at some. All we're doing with process value analysis is we want to fill in the blanks. So we have activities. Some are value added, some non-value added. Some are unnecessary, some are necessary. Guess what? Guess where you are? You're here. You're here. As an accountant, as a trained accountant, this is where you are initially. You are employed first and foremost by most organisations around the world to do financial due diligence, compliance, FASB regulation, IPO regulations, whatever. That's what you're employed first and foremost by most firms around the world as an accountant. Secondly, you're employed to do this thing here. Okay? All right? You need to learn how to do more of that and sell yourself of being able to do more of that. Okay? But first and foremost, you are a non-value added activity that is necessary. Why? Because companies have to file quarterly reports or 6 monthly reports. So it's non-value added, but it's necessary. You with me? All right, an inspector on the production line or at the wrong place is non-value added, it's unnecessary. But maybe an inspector at another place may be value added because it catches mistakes before they grow into big problems. You with me? So when you say inspection, oh, that's non-value added. It is value added. If you read the Horngren textbook, I think they say it's non-value added. You read another textbook, it says it's value added. So it's not about a black and white thing. I just think through. Okay, if you are the owner and you're investing resources and time to market is important, just think, okay? It's common sense in many ways. What's value added, what is not. Okay, let's move on. Here's what we were trying to do. Activity reduction, selection, activity sharing, elimination. What do the most of the Chinese suppliers do and what are 14% are doing in responding to cost pressure? They are automating. When you automate, you are eliminating activities or you're eliminating or you're reducing or you're activity sharing. You're definitely reducing your labour costs. Okay? And you're basically standardising the process because robots do the same thing again. Okay? Humans, and it's very special about humans, is they can try and do it again, but then there's fatigue, tiredness. It's always hard to keep standards, okay, when you're managing a factory of people, okay? And they have lots of trouble managing productivity in China where they have lots and lots of people in the factory. Okay, not the people's problem, it's just a fact of human nature. Okay, now we want to achieve cost reduction, so we do those things. Process value analysis. Here's an example of a value added activity, supervision of production workers. Maybe a value added activity, okay, or may not be. Okay, inspection of products could be, scheduling of production. I think out of these three, I think A would be the most valuable activity. Okay? So for example, when a major smartphone manufacturer discovered a screw that was missing in one of the smartphones, okay, they put extra engineers on every production line. Okay, where they normally have one for 15 production lines, they brought in extra 15 engineers, one for each production line, to actually supervise, to make sure the screw was put on the smartphone. Okay, just had to do it. You want to make something happen, then you've got to have that supervision. So that's real. That happened. That happened maybe 2 months ago, just across the border. Okay, which of the following is an example of non-value activity? Scheduling. Non-value added. Can you eliminate that? Yes, you can't eliminate assembly, you can't eliminate finishing, Maybe scheduling is value added, but it's not adding value to, it's not changing the product. It's not changing the product. Why would you do more scheduling? Maybe if you're trying to do many, many things with the same production line. So then you've got to, okay, do we make this first today, or make it on Tuesday or Wednesday, or do we change it around? And then you can see the problems of scheduling, okay? Depending on what orders are coming in, what has to be shipped out early, shipped late. That's your scheduling. That's not value adding, but a lot of companies have to do that. Is there some way of making it more efficient? Okay. Here's a real example that may be tested on the midterm test. The notes look very good on the iPad. I like that. 20 days of materials inventory. Carrying costs average 4,000. The competitor competes 10 days of inventory on hand, and the competitor's carrying costs average $2,000 per day. The value added costs are how much? Hello? You see the answer there, right? 0, okay? All right, trick question. Right from the start. Inventory has got nothing to do with the product functionality. Value-added costs are connected with the functionality of the product. When you eliminate a value-added activity, you potentially affect the functionality of the product. You potentially affect the product's positioning in the marketplace. You potentially affect how customers see the product. That's what we mean by value added. If you eliminate it, you affect that product. Okay, next one. Okay, another one, time and motion. It should take 2 hours to produce a product, currently takes 6 hours. Labour is $8 an hour. The value added costs are how much? Help me, quick. How much for A? 16. How much? Value added costs, value added only. We're talking about value added only. 48, 32, 0 or 16. How much for A? Any hands for B? Any hands for C? And D? The A's have it. Okay? The A's have it. 16. Okay? You see, 2 hours to produce. That is assembly. If you didn't do that, you would not make the product. You with me? So therefore, the product's functionality changes. Therefore, that is the value added. You can eliminate 4 hours and still make the product. Okay? I don't know how you do it, but that's what the question implies. All right? Driver analysis. Oh, here's another example. There's one smartphone manufacturer. They had a delivery of the, you know the thing you touch on the front of your screen? Where's my iPhone? I'll just turn off my Lady Gaga. All right, so we've got the, where's your iPhone? Can I see your iPhones, please? All right, don't show me because I told you to put them away, right? Okay, I understand. All right, so there's the LCM module on top, right? Okay, so there are many different layers. There's a capacitive touch screen on top. There's glass capacitive touch element underneath that when you put your finger on it, it registers some electron movement, and then that causes all your controls on your iPhone. Okay? So capacitive. Capacitive means it's sort of like works like a capacitor. Anyone study electronics? A capacitor is a kind of a switch that affects the flow of electrons in the circuit. Okay, so they used to use a resistive touch screen. So 5 years ago, you could take your pen out and then do that, but you can't do it on a capacitive because it requires your warmth of your finger. Okay, that's why you can't use a pen on the iPhone. Not good if you've got big fingers like me. All right, so we've got driver analysis. Anyway, so there's this smartphone manufacturer, and they have the glass come to the factory, and then they have this capacitive screen that got to stick to the glass. And then in the testing, they would drop the smartphone, and they find there's a little white film, white cloud came out. And they took them 2 weeks to work out what the problem was. There was nothing wrong with the glass. There was nothing wrong with the electronic film that goes on the glass. The problem was it was a chemical reaction between the glue they used to put the film onto the glass and the light glue that was used to put the protective film on the glass that was shipped to the assembler. So they take the protective film off the glass and there was still some residue left. And then they put the glue on it and put the screen on, and then they found that there was a chemical reaction. It took this company 2 weeks to find out, going through this analysis, driver analysis. Okay? 2 weeks. So here's the problem. We have this chemical reaction in the touch screen. Okay? Oh, could it be the glass? Could it be the electromagnetic film? Could it be something else? All right, 2 weeks testing the glass, blaming the glass manufacturer. 2 weeks blaming this. It's the glass or the other one. In the end, it was the, like sticky notes. It's just something like that, a thin film of adhesive that held the protective shipping package on the glass. So the glass gets shipped and nothing happens to it. So they just had a light little residue when they pull it off, the little residue left on the glass. That reacted with the glue they used. You would never know. All right? You think, we're great engineers, we can make this perfect and not have these little problems. It took them 2 weeks to work it out. 2 weeks. Okay? So what they do, driver analysis. You go through all the different ways in which what is causing what. If we have low customer satisfaction, is it high pricing, low quality product? Is it poor support? It could be any one of them. There are many other things. What I want you to do at home, when you go home with these notes, I want you to think about which items that may be related to incorrect delivered location. Is it a communication problem, skill problem, transportation problem, procedure? This is real. This is real. Seriously. How many of you know Nestle?
Yes.
Okay. They had this problem. Incorrect delivered location. They put the chocolate or they put the produce in trucks in Hong Kong and the trucks would go to the wrong location. It happened. It's true. How many of you got lost in Hong Kong? Anyone? Only the international students. All right? Seriously. 1.5% incorrect delivered location. Okay, 1,000 deliveries, 15 went to the wrong shop. It happens. Okay? Look, if you're managing real operations, there's always a percentage of things that happen out of your control. You've got to fix them. That's your job. Okay? So, part of it may be, is it due to the skill of the driver? Is it due to the procedure? Is it due to the communication, what we tell them, how to get to where they have to go? Is it to do with transportation? Is it because of bottleneck or traffic conditions or something else? You see, that's what we mean by driver analysis. You've got a problem. Okay, let's logically go back. What are all the possible causes? And this is people refer to this as a fishbone diagram. Have you heard of that before? Because it looks like a fish, right? All right, does it look? And here are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll let you think about what goes where, and I can give you the solution next Tuesday. Okay? Performance measurement. Remember, activity analysis. What's value added, what's non-value added. Number 2, driver analysis. What's the problem? Just work back systematically, list everything out. And in the end, you'll solve the problem. But you won't solve it by randomly just talking and talking and talking. Okay? List every option out. Group them. Okay? Who's in charge of this area? Who's in charge of this? Or even in charge of solving particular areas. Performance measurement, in the end, is about making visible what is invisible. Performance measurement does 2 things. Number 1, it helps communication. Number 2, it helps incentivize. Okay? Performance measurement, by creating visibility of anything, creates awareness. Awareness makes people more aware because you're measuring something. I measure your attendance in class, so you become aware that I'm aware of your awareness.